My question to you is that how did you move to this, education side? I think you had the Rehan School. I remember it was mostly online, but this physical concept, because doing physical is really challenging. It's tough. In your case, Rehan School, and I see that the parallel where you are giving each kid a goal that you are this water wala, but within water, right? Within the local context, with the problems, there is a lot of actually possibilities are there. Those are real and something that they can really execute on it. The money concept that actually I told you that that would be, I think, a longer discussion. That money is nothing. I want my kids to learn, but the money is not actually the first priority. So how do you deal with that kind of? Have you heard this kind of messaging, or people say, "Oh, we want to make our kids make money. These are kids. They should not be worried about money. They should just first learn, and then actually when the time comes, then they will figure it out." So what is your response to them, or did you even hear this kind of thing from people?
अस्सलामुअलैकुम। आज हम शाहिद भाई के साथ हैं और शाहिद भाई कैलिफोर्निया में सिलिकॉन वैली में रहते हैं। कितने साल से?
Almost 25 years.
वही 25 साल से रहते हैं। और हमारी मुलाकात कराची में हुई, फिर अब यहाँ हुई 10 साल पहले, फिर अब आज 2 दिन पहले हुई। तो मैं इस ट्रिप पे जो आया हुआ हूँ वो मेरा पर्पस ये है कि मैं यहाँ पे स्कूल खोलूँ, और उस स्कूल खोलने से पहले हमारा प्रीरिक्विजिट है कि वो हमारे स्कूल के सिस्टम को समझें। ज़्यादातर लोग सोशल मीडिया से फ्रेंडली नहीं हैं, समझते नहीं हैं, उसका पावर नहीं समझते हैं, बस यूज़ करते हैं, बट पॉजिटिव यूज़ उनको आइडिया नहीं है। सो आपसे उस दिन बात हुई, हमने कहा नहीं, हमें आराम से थोड़े से 150 स्टूडेंट्स मिल जाने चाहिए। दैट्स व्हाट वी लुकिंग फॉर, बिकॉज हम ट्रायल रन करना चाहते हैं ना। मिलियन यूज़र्स तो नहीं चाहिए, मुझे तो 150 चाहिए कि हम उनको ट्राई करेंगे, ट्यून करेंगे, कुरिकुलम को ट्यून करेंगे, उसमें से बहुत सारे चले जाएंगे, बहुत सारे आ जाएंगे, इट्स लाइक सॉफ्टवेयर।
बिल्कुल।
तो उसकी क्योंकि आपने उम्मीद दिलाई तो मैंने कहा चाहिए, आपसे उम्मीद मिली, वहाँ जाना चाहिए। तो आप कुछ बता रहे थे अभी कि भाई आपको उसके अंदर क्या चीज़ें अच्छी लगी।
हाँ, नहीं, मैं यही कह रहा था कि मुख्तलिफ जो जगह हैं उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट है डिफरेंट। बेसिक एजुकेशन एक्चुअली ऑल पेरेंट्स आर लुकिंग फॉर, दे वांट टू मेक श्योर कि उनके जो बच्चे हैं वो जो मॉडर्न एजुकेशन हासिल करें। तो टू सम एक्सटेंट you have schools here because Silicon Valley, so especially parents are in high tech. Most of them actually are already running companies or any kind of a small business. So I would say that technology itself, core technology itself, is not the only thing. The other thing is the social aspect, कि जो बच्चे हैं वो कैसे जो है वो अपने पेरेंट के साथ कैसे कम्युनिकेट करते हैं। तरबियत, that's actually is very powerful thing that people are looking for here, and it's a kind of कल्चरली भी ये कह लें कि जैसे जैसे सोशल मीडिया आया है, वो डिस्टेंस जो है, पहले अगर टेबल पे बैठ के डिनर पे जो है बात होती थी, वो इंटरेक्शन जो है वो ख़त्म हो गया है। तो इसीलिए सोशल मीडिया को थोड़ा यहाँ पे जो है वो उस नेगेटिव लेंस से देखा जाता है। और एंड एक्चुअली इफ अगर आप उनसे ये बात करें कि कोई सोशल मीडिया नहीं होगा स्कूल के अंदर, पेरेंट्स एक्चुअली आर मोर interested in that. So but I think people understand because अक्सर जो लोग यहाँ पे मुख्तलिफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से वाबस्ता हैं, आपके पास आप अभी आ रहे हैं, फेसबुक है और लिंक्डइन है, तो lot of people actually work in those organizations, Google, so they understand कि उसका बेनिफिट भी है, लेकिन क्या उसको इस तरह इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है कि वो फैमिली वैल्यूज़ और ये चीज़ों को जो है ना मेंटेन करके रखे, या उसके बारे में। तो जो आपने एक जो बात जो कही थी वो मुझे बड़ी अच्छी लगी कि कम्युनिकेट, हाउ टू कम्युनिकेट विद योर पेरेंट, दैट इटसेल्फ इज एक्चुअली वेरी, अगर मैं तो खैर मेरे बच्चे दुखती भी रहे, तो मेरे तो खैर बच्चे बड़े हो गए हैं, लेकिन आपसे अगर आज से 15 साल पहले आप मेरे पास आते हो, कहते जनाब ये मेरा मैसेज है, मैं तो अपने बच्चों को उनके स्कूल से निकाल के इस स्कूल में डाल देता था, ये स्कूल जो है वो बेहतरीन स्कूल है। तो एक आई थिंक दैट्स द कोर थिंग, बट Leadership, we have a lot of private schools, we have a lot of education academies. So especially parents from South Asia and in Asian countries who are here, they, not only their kids go to school, but also they go to this extra kind of,
Weekend
curriculum.
school.
Yeah.
Islamic school. and
Islamic school, they also have professional schools. Like, I forget actually the names. There are 2 or 3 that are very, very expensive, but, extra math, extra activities के लिए जो है ना उनको भेजते हैं वहाँ पे ताकि जो है बच्चे जो है वो पीछे नहीं रह जाए. कंपटीशन बहुत टफ है क्योंकि जो यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं आपके पास स्टैनफोर्ड है, बर्कली है, most of those kids are competing for those spots. So and that's why actually everybody wants to make sure कि उनके बच्चे जो है वो आगे निकल जाए. तो ये I mean actual facts हैं. But I think जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो डेवलप हो रही है कि जो नई जो बच्चे जनरेट हो रहे हैं अभी जो मतलब पढ़ के निकल रहे हैं, they are somehow, because they are stick to social media, again this is a perception, they are not able to fully develop as a leader. They can communicate via chat messages, but if they have to talk to somebody one-on-one or a gathering, they are not actually that comfortable. So it's still, I think this it's Rehan School model. I see that it provide that atmosphere that allows कि जो है वो इंटरेक्शन की जो है वो बच्चों की प्रैक्टिस होती है उनका, तो जो मतलब कोई बच्चा जो है पीछे नहीं रह सकता है. I mean every school has a lot of kids who are good, but majority actually are kind of shy. Majority of those kids actually are more kind of nerds, we call them, and they become actually too much engaged in technical activities. So that is also I think it's parents are looking for, so that can be messaged accordingly.
तो क्या नेक्स्ट स्टेप्स होने चाहिए आपको? एक तो ये कि आपने कहा कि मैं अपने बच्चों को 15 साल पहले निकाल के भेजा, अभी भी आपने अपने बहन के बच्चों को और अपने दूसरे बच्चों को तो पकड़ के आपने दिलवाई दिया कि यार तुम तो जाओ भाई.
बिल्कुल. जो छोटे अभी बच्चे हैं, जो मेरे अपने बच्चे हैं वो तो खैर बड़े हो गए, लेकिन जो छोटे मेरे भांजे हैं और भतीजे हैं जो सभी इस एज में हैं, तो वो डेफिनेटली मैं उसको देख रहा हूँ. मैंने आप लास्ट टाइम भी बात की थी कि वो बच्चे जो है ना बहुत I mean they are learning. They are just like I call them a sponge. They're just, and you are providing them all that ingredients. Earlier they did not have it. उनके पास पहले था नहीं वो. They were just actually looking for. So that I think it's a very very innovative idea. आपका जो concept है, वो, and it's a kind of a global thing. It's not just for Pakistan, but also it is needed everywhere. That how do you understand technology, how do you adopt it in a fashion कि आपके जो भी आपका livelihood है, then you will be adopt in that model. So yeah, so that's I think it's a very very interesting idea, and I see that possibility of if you start other countries and in Silicon Valley, initially definitely it will be a little bit uphill to provide the message. लेकिन एक दफ़ा उनको अगर समझ में आ जाता है, रिजल्ट अगर नज़र आते हैं, तो then definitely they will be interested.
So step 1, 2 and 3 मुझे क्या करना चाहिए?
Step 1 सबसे पहला तो ये है कि मैसेजिंग, राइट? मैसेजिंग का मतलब ये है कि we need to have an example. So maybe some kids, some who are really understand this idea. It does not need to be I would say like when we start a startup, it's like a startup model, right? So you have to have an MVP, minimal viable product that can be showcased, right? So just pure messaging would not work. People here actually are very kind of practical. They just want to see the result. Like if you look at it, any kind of services and products those are offered, लोग उसकी रेटिंग देखते हैं जाके येल्प के ऊपर. अगर घर खरीदना है तो जाके उसकी सारी जो है ना डेटा अवेलेबल होता है. तो अगर वो चीज़ प्रोवाइड की जाए, और इफ़ वी हैव सम काइंड ऑफ ए example from this area, right? कोई बच्चा यहाँ से जो है वो demonstrate करे और वो जो है ना आप उसको showcase कर सकें, तो I think that would be a great first step. Once that happens, then I think it's just a matter of scaling it, making it bigger. Then you go from 1, 2, 3 kids to 5 and 10 and 20, and then that can scale.
पहले 10 कहाँ से लाए? वो कोई हत्थे चढ़ना मुश्किल हो रहा है?
Yeah, I think that's for that I would say there is one possibility. I think you also recommended that we actually connect kids who are here already with the kids who are already in Rehan School system and have, they understand it. So you are essentially taking those kids.
So I have not been able to do that. I've been trying for 15 years.
I think we have a lot of schools. Some kind of a program can be built, because these kids, like 10, 20 years ago, when my kids actually were growing up, we were sending them into some extra. So this is like extra, like say, hey, you got another class, and this class actually allow you to interact. So that could also be one possibility.
Right now we're not looking for full-time students. We're just looking for an hour a day student, and even that can be 2 hours a week, like just on the weekend or 5 days a week. My friend Adnan you met, he wants to enroll his 2 daughters from Monday. So I'm just giving the message, join us 1 hour a day and see how it is. Give it 3 months, 6 months and see the results, and if you like it, continue. If you don't like it, it's okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and then things can evolve, and then you can actually see that what needs to be tuned for this environment. But mostly, I think those elements are same. The basics are same. But I think to bootstrap people, that I wish I had more kids. I would have sent, but I can just convey the message in my circle who have little kids, so they definitely that circle would be interested. But I do see that once the message is understood or there, then it is just a matter of people to actually see it. That's it. So, and it's not just a problem here. Even in Pakistan, the Karangi school has a capacity of 800 students, and we have 100. In Islamabad, we have a capacity of 500 students. We have 18. So we are opening 10 more schools in Pakistan because it's not that expensive, but and the schools would be small, like 25 students, so that the first year, 2 years, they can see the MVPs coming out, and when the results show up, then people can enroll in. That's what we have seen, and we will give it 6 months to see how it proceeds, or kill it, or grow it, and or pivot, or whatever is needed.
Yeah, no, the idea of the education, I think with your idea that I see, I mean, that's why when my sister discovered, and she talked to me and she said, hey, this is from Rehan, I said, don't worry, you should be able to. So there is a little bit hesitation is there, and this is actually inertia, right? I mean, people actually they're used to of there are fears, right? What actually the kids would do. So if those fears are gone, or they see the one batch, then people will be able to be more comfortable. I would say that problem is not here. So here actually is more data. People actually are very pragmatic. They don't see what the pattern is, but if the data can be provided, so whatever data is actually you have there, like if you have kids who are whatever that level of progress they've made, if this could be put into matrix, some kind of a visualization, that would really make a difference.
We will do that.
Sure.
Ask me a question.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I wanted to first of all, actually, I wanted to find out that how I met you in 2012. We had the TEDx in 2012. So I was here in 1996, and then in 2010, I just decided to go back to Pakistan. And I remember that my friends actually, they told me that why you are going to Kurangi, right? I mean, you have the ability to live in a better place, but I'm actually very, I would call it a stubborn person. I said, if I'm going to Kurangi, I'm just going because I want to really serve there. I want to live with my parents. And they say, move your parents, somewhere else. I said, no, I will live actually in the same street where I grew up, and I would actually, so I took my kids, my whole family. I had an agreement with them. I took them for 3 months, and then I said, okay, did you enjoy it? They said, yeah, it's great. I said, okay, let's have an agreement that if you want to move, then you will not quit until you finish your high school. So my kids finished their high school in Karachi, Pakistan, and that's actually where I met you. So my question to you is that how did you move to this, education side? I think you had the Rehan School. I remember it was mostly online, but this physical concept, because doing physical is really challenging. It's tough. I also have my school there, and I see the difficulties, especially in that neighborhood.
I've been looking for a school for 7-8 years to buy, and I've been posting on social media. And if anybody wants to sell, I didn't have the right network, but I kept posting, and then people say, "Oh, here's it's how much, this is how much." So I ended up somebody offered me this school for a decent amount of money.
Okay.
And it was in my budget. I Google mapped it. I was outside the country. I Google mapped it, and I saw it's like 15 minutes from Indus Hospital. And then I sent someone. They made a video tour, and I saw the auditorium, and it just that auditorium was so gorgeous. Let's do it. So I just bought it. I had no clue what the school looked like, where it is located, nothing. I just said, okay, fine, it's a school. I need something to start somewhere. So I just took it.
Great. Excellent.
The school chose me. I didn't choose that area. And then luckily, I think if it was another place, I wouldn't have been successful.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So the school is in such a bad place that when anybody goes there, they curse me. Where did you buy the school?
Yes, exactly.
What is this place?
I can relate that.
And then when they go inside and they see the results, they forget everything, and they're like so happy. Nobody bothers me there. Nobody, no government, no nothing. Nobody. It's like in the middle of nowhere. Let him do what he's doing.
Let you do whatever you want to do.
So first 6 months we couldn't get electricity, so we didn't get electricity.
All those challenges, yeah.
We still don't have it. We are all on solar. From day one till now, we're on solar. We are increasing our solar capacity now by 3x. We had 110 students, and I wanted to focus only on 8th grade and plus. And then I was trying to remove all the younger students. But then I saw photos of them. Somebody sent me photos like, look at them. I was like, they're so cute. I can't where do I send them? I said, okay, keep it. We'll keep funding. But eventually everybody left. We only had 20 students left. And some joined in. We did summer camp. Some people joined in for summer camp, and some stayed back. And then people started to come in, even though my message was that it's an experimental school. We want to teach you how to make money, and we want to do this, and we want to help the teachers make money. And I've seen some schools in the area before, but I just had 20 students, and then I started paying people to study.
Interesting.
So I hired people as teachers, but I was paying them, but we didn't really need them. We had 50 teachers at one point and 20 students.
Wow.
So we were just trying to get teachers to join in, and then people start to frown at which agency is he from? Is he CIA? Is he some other? Why is he giving us computers? Why is he giving us money to learn? So even the principal himself was skeptical. I thought he would leave, but he stayed back. I kept sending my existing team. It was a very tough 18 months. And then, getting internet was hard. Lots of stupid issues for the first year and a half. But somehow, like last year, March, I gave laptops to every kid. And then ChatGPT came. That changed everything. And then slowly we took out all the curriculum out of the school. And things started to change. I mean, it just took its own life form. And I had a adult school, Shahid School, Shahid Road, for adults to help them earn money. And they were not showing up. But I had the curriculum. So that same curriculum we put in this school. And the kids started to do stuff, and the adults were not doing anything. And the kids started to get income. And the kids started to really show me results. All this took a lot of time, but now it's just people are coming in. And because of all this, one of the school associations and all, because I was doing for 12 years, it's not just like now, right? So they gave me an award. And that award video went viral in June instead of January. Somehow it went viral in June. And that video went to who's who of the world, of the country, anybody who spoke Urdu. That video was like, they started watching video, and I was like in phone calls, like, where is this school? Where is this school? So every day, like before that, there were like 4 or 5 people a day coming. Now there were like 100 people coming. Army Corps commander, this Air Force commander, this university chancellor. I mean, anybody's and whoever started coming to the school. And they were all pissed off why this school is such in a bad place. And then when you go inside, they were all very happy that we're doing something in an area where nobody would do it. So it just happened. I just took one day at a time, lost a lot of hair.
That's a part of the process.
You got lucky.
No, I think I have a few more years to go, but I think it will happen. But to the experience that you describe, it looks to me that, and I have been in and I still live. My parents, my siblings are there. So what I consider from a comparison perspective, when you start a company in Silicon Valley, it literally goes through that kind of uncertainty, frustration, and pain.
It still is a startup.
Exactly. But if you are able to survive, or if you're able to kind of continuously try to figure out that what is working, what is not working,
somehow it becomes successful.
Exactly. So that's I would because I was there and I know that I can relate all those challenges and electricity, theft. I remember that.
Our gas meter has been stolen twice.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like every day you will have a surprise. So I'm glad that you are now actually at a point where you're seeing that this thing is.
No, in Pakistan actually we're doing very well somehow.
Excellent.
Last year we got an award in Italy, and I went to Venice and I picked up some books, and I really liked those books. They were colorful and they had like check boxes and to-do lists. So I picked them up, a lot of books, brought them back. By that time, one of our students' mother said, "Can I send my 2 kids to your home every day?" I said, "What will they do there?" So she said, "I don't know. They will just come and learn whatever you want." Because I don't go to school. So she was like, because I send them to school because of you. You don't show up, so I'll send them to your house.
Interesting.
I said, "Sure, send them." So they started coming, and a month they didn't know that. I didn't even meet them. They just came. They just kept coming, keep coming. And then I started. I was there. I started meeting, and they would get me tea, coffee, stuff, clean my room, everything. They're just like chota. And slowly and gradually, when I got these books, I went and said, "Okay, can you copy this?" And to Manahil, and she said, "Sure." So 2 days later, she came back and she copied me the book. I said, "Oh, interesting. Here's the number. Send your brother to this address and get it printed and get them to bind. They'll make exactly like this." So she made that. Interesting. Then I gave her 2 more books. Copy this. She made those copies. I said, interesting. Then I don't know what happened, and said, "Why don't we make some books for the school? And this is how the books would look like." Sure. She goes in and next day she gives me a book for the school. I'm like, interesting.
Wow.
So let's get it printed. So we got it printed, and then we showed it to everyone. Everybody loved it. We had 22 students, I believe. We gave it to everyone, a book, and things started to change faster now. Because now they have a book, they have a structure. The teacher understands what we're
Right.
doing. The parents understand what we're doing. It was explanatory, and we made like every week I'll make a new version of the book very, very quickly. You know? So 0.01, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, really quickly it made into thing. And 4 months later, we had sent it to publishers and to get it printed at like 1,000 copies because now our school was growing. We had structure. People wanted the book. And now because she made one book, I said, well, why don't you make a book about this? Then why don't you book about this? So now I can make a book over like in 24 hours, and it's really interesting.
Great.
The system is growing really well.
So Rehan, I know that, so you mentioned that the challenges, so let me ask you a question. It's kind of a little bit a deeper question. I mean, when you are in that environment, we go through all this process, it looks to me that there is the motivation that you have, right? What exactly, what inspired you to have that motivation to really, get through all those, challenges? So it looks like that you have some very strong, I would say, idea or some kind of thing in your mind that you want to accomplish, right? With this one, so this is actually in education. So what actually inspired you? What exactly got you into this direction?
So I didn't have it, and in the last one, I don't even know if it's 1 year, if it's maybe it's just 6 months. I have been seeing progress, like on the whole project has taken a life of its own, and finally I'm actually enjoying it. I'm like, things are moving faster because I have all my life been a very fast mover, like tech, IT. You have to have 1 million users to do anything, and all of my team was so slow. Like they were like snails, and I'm like a rabbit. I want to just get it done and over with. It just takes so much time.
Yeah.
But what happened was that the students became fast, and the teachers remained slow. And then when I started hanging out with these students, I invited 2 more to come to my home, hang out there, and I had this plan that I will. In my business life, in 35 years plus, I have hired maybe 2,200 plus people, and I've trained them, polished them, and then they leave. By the time they're worth anything, I can't hold them anymore because I teach everything. And when you teach everything, they become like double the value, and I can't pay them double overnight. So, but the student case, they won't leave. So even if they leave, I have like a whole production line coming in. Like in hundreds and thousands, and like if I invested $100,000 tomorrow, I can go to Shah Faisal or Korangi and buy like 10 schools or maybe more for $100,000. That means 1,000 students, and I have a whole factory of human beings being trained. And I who's going to train? I'm not. Teachers are not the students. So I have a first army of trainers, which are the students themselves, who are extremely fast, who tell me when I ask them, are you tired? Is it okay? Is this too much? Why do you keep asking us? We're not tired. We don't get tired. What does tired mean?
Yeah, they got the energy.
They got the energy. And I'm like, what does tired mean? Well, one day, one of the girls was saying, is tired means like when we have fever and we're sick, we can't move? Is that what tiredness is?
Different meaning of tiredness, yeah.
So I said, yeah, something like that. So these kids, they just don't get tired, and they are hungry for learning more and doing more and action more. And now the parents are comfortable, they're comfortable, the teachers are comfortable, and now they're actually growing. And I don't even know how to explain this. I don't want to be in the US right now. I want to be with them.
Definitely.
I want to just let them suck me out. Yeah. They just suck me out. When I'm giving a class to them, it's so much fun. I have no, I mean, when adults, they're just, they're not even listening. But young ones, I mean, I would give a lecture, and then I will have the students and I will have the adults in the room, and I will come and say, to the students, now you explain. They will copy exactly what I said, like photocopy machine. They will just explain it. And when they have questions, the adults, I say, ask them. I'm not going to tell you again because these guys have all, even though it's recorded, these kids are like micro LLMs in my room, and their job is to just sit there, be there, observe everything. So my own children don't do that, but these kids do.
I think that's same
so I would highly recommend that you take some students from us and let them intern for you, and you will see what I'm talking about.
Sure. So I think that would lead to my next question is to you is that I see that the curriculum as I interact with my own kids, nephews, and because I ask them what kind of stuff that they're learning. So I see that they have digital side of it, and they have they do this social media post. So, but what do you think that the core skill that right now that you want them to have, or you're trying to actually make that as your main thing that you can talk about? What exactly that that you want to instill in them?
Before I came to you, I was meeting my friend who has done 10 exits, and 4 of them were unicorns. So he has made more than $4 billion, and the core skill he has is to sell. Is to communicate, and is to network. So he invited me to a network which is worth $100,000 just to join. And that's his master skill. I don't know if you've heard of Cyrus Logic. So he was the co-founder of Cyrus Logic. Yesterday, I was with Raghib, who runs $100 billion. His market cap is now $100 billion. And the same skill is to connect, to communicate, to be able to listen, to be able to network and find the right components to build a business or build a solution. So all my life, I have been networking, connecting, collaborating, and I didn't use it as a business, but now I think I have the methodology which I want to transfer to them so that they can run after one problem for the next 10 years and then solve it. Like in 70 years in Pakistan, the problems which we were not able to solve, I think these kids would be able to solve in 5 to 10 years time because they have superpower. For example, we want to make a school here, right? So my friend suggested, why don't you ask the different cities have some power, some empty spaces, maybe they can just give you a school. So I went to ChatGPT and I wrote a template letter and I sent to one of my students, said, send this to the city town officer and the mayor. Here's a template, and find out how many cities there are, find out their email. And by the time I was halfway through coming here, it was already done. That kind of superpower is phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely.
And now when the call comes in, I'll have them call the mayor and talk to them because these kids have done 200 episodes, 400 episodes of podcasts. They're not shy anymore. They know everything, what's going on. They're better salesmen than most people. And they're like little kids and nobody can resist that. You can make as many mistakes as you want.
Definitely.
And nobody would be upset with them. So what I want them to become is phenomenal communicators, phenomenal connectors on a human level, because I have to decide what AI will not do in the next 3-4 years, right? So I'm focused on the things which the AI will not do. AI will not become human, and so you have to become a human, which means you have to be humble, you have to be nice, you have to be sweet, you have to be kind, you have to be not arrogant. When you become Elon Musk, you don't tweet to the Prime Minister of Canada saying, girl, you heard the governor, and you don't bully people. So kindness, empathy, these values which are in all religions, I want them to have these values. Technically, the reason they make Canva and ChatGPT post is, I did not know any other way for them to force them to use technology every day. So you have to give them work to become good at something. I wanted them to good with typing. I wanted them to become good with using AI. I wanted them to do something, actionable items every single day. That's why we just put in some stuff that you have to do this, you have to do this. So there's something to do. Just like you go in, you read a book, write paper, you make it all black and white, and that is counted as points. The same thing in our school. We give them work not because we need them to do this, but to make them polish them.
Yeah.
So that's the core things we want them to do. And big thinkers, just like you are. We want them to connect to big thinkers, and then have big, large, ambitious goals where, in 10 years, I'm going to help them 1 million people solve this problem. And today, we were talking, I was talking to Anayal, and we were talking like, oh, ChatGPT doesn't do a good job on AI, in Urdu. I was like, I told her, why don't you take 3 students, make them Urdu Allahwala, and let them make their own LLM.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Just let them train it. And I said, maybe it'll be hard. He said, no, but we'll do it, no problem. And that's the output I want. Why not? They can do it.
They can definitely.
If a 15-year-old can say, why not, we can do it, then there's no problems.
No, I mean, this is amazing. I mean, I was just, my wife and my daughter, I was telling them this story that, I mean, you may have heard about that. There was a Nobel Prize, this guy, actually, I forgot his name. So he, during his, the lecture, he was tired, he just, slept. And the teacher actually, the lecturer, he wrote, some questions, and then he got up, he thought, oh, this is the homework. He went home and he solved all those 3, questions. They were very hard. And next day he went there to his class and to the teacher and said, hey, I solved it. He said, no, this was not supposed to solve. This was actually, I wrote down that these are the problems that never solved. This was not a homework. So the bottom line is that when somebody sees this as hard, not solvable, then actually they don't solve it. So that is also is a good thing. Now, the work that you're doing is so powerful, so innovative, and the impact of it I can imagine on the scale. And my feeling is that doing it under your own school may not be, you can't actually scale to that, the whole world level, right? So there are a lot of other organizations also doing that. So how do you kind of do you have some kind of a message to them or some kind of a template for them so that they can learn actually from you and they can scale it, right?
So people get to know themselves after a certain age. I think my job on earth is not to become Elon or a $1 billion company, is to help others. There's a process. You put a seed in the sand, and there's billions of microorganisms which helps them blossom. In the school case, I feel that I might be able to impact or not, but let's explain what am I doing, right? 27 million students don't go to school. TCF in 25 years has helped 1.6 million people with, I don't even know how many 100 billion. They have 1,600 schools. Each school, they're spending a lot of money every year, right? So they have to come here, they have to go all over the world, take grants and educate. And they're still only able to help less than 10% of the uneducated people. Then there are schools which charge 2,000 rupees less, and there are 105,000 schools like that. Now, for the last 2 years, I've been showing exactly what I'm doing to everyone. I'm putting out videos. All my books are out there. Anybody can come to our school. We don't have we don't have restriction. You can't steal from us. Come and steal. Come.
So you're open sourced.
Everything is open source, but nobody's able to copy it. The reason is because they think it's very hard, as you said, and it's so easy actually, but they don't have the courage to do it. So I think the pivoting point, or not the pivoting, the tipping point will be when I have 100 students which are making 5,000 a month. Every student is making 5,000 rupees a month. Every student is making 20,000 a month. And that's when everything will start to change, because a school which is taking 2,000 rupees fees, even then, a lot of parents don't pay. So we are saying that we are trying to come up with a system that in the 5th grade, you learn what you're learning, and then you start tuitioning the same system to others, and you charge it. You make at least 5,000 rupees a month in 6 months to a year's time, and then half of that goes to the school, half of that goes to you.
Yeah.
In 6th grade, you make $100 a month. Half of it goes to you, half of it goes to the school. In 7th grade, you make $200 a month. I have no idea how exactly I'll do it, but I have some idea. Half of that goes to the school, half of that goes to you. Now that means that now school, which is making 2,000 rupees a month, can now make 28,000 rupees a month, which means that from only 100 students, they can make 28 lakh rupees or 2.8 million rupees a month, which is for a Karangi school or any school, any small school, it's phenomenal. Now, if you're making all of a sudden $10,000 a month from 100 students, what is it exactly you're going to do? You're going to use that money, scale. You're going to say, I'm going to make 200 students, I'm going to make 500 students, I'm going to make 10,000 students, because there's 22,000 students born a day. There's 27 million doing nothing. So what do you do as a business person? You go out there and you scale, you solve this problem. I'm giving the template. I'm open sourcing the system. Here you go. This is how you do it. I don't want to scale to the 27 million. I want to help them give a template and they can just copy and paste it. So that's how it will scale. So my hardest job is to discover what should be the process of doing all this. What is the exact process? Because it has to be 80 to 90%. Like for example, if you send a child to school, 90% will pass metric. Even if there's cheating involved, whatever, 90% will pass. So I have to make my curriculum so easy that 90% have to pass, which means 90% of them have to earn $100 a month, $200 a month, $500 a month. How do you, even Harvard doesn't promise that you will get a job. I'm promising.
That's very bold.
I'm promising that I want every student to make money. Just like 100 years ago, we didn't think that everybody can read and write. Today, we don't think that every student can make $1 million or make money. Very educating. Go out there and find your thing. So easy way out for me is I'm going to educate you, and now you go out there just like everybody else. But I'm saying no. I will help you discover the process, and we will walk through you. So I don't know how it'll be done. Just like going to Mars, we don't really know how we will go to Mars, but we have an idea.
We'll figure it out,
as we go through. And the most interesting for me is in this process of doing all this, I will end up creating real processes which the school system has not been able to solve. And maybe I won't be able to achieve the exact $1 million goal for every student, but I'm 1,000% sure that I will be able to solve a lot of small little problems. Like look at Google. They've created Google Maps, Gmail, there's so many other beautiful tools, which they didn't know that this is what's going to happen. It just happens.
I think I would relate this to, maybe not Google, Facebook. You must actually know that, Facebook got started from universities. So it was only limited to only schools. So if you had a school email address, then you would have Facebook, right? But then when actually the traction was there in the product, right? So in your case, I would not call it traction, but I really see that the fundamental characteristic or element of learning and true progress that I see. So my feeling is that you have essentially cracked the code. Now the core problem is solved. About to crack the code, you can say that, because that scale,
the measurement is not.
Scale actually is not a problem. Like in Silicon Valley, what we say that, hey, if you have a sticky product, right, and you have a true value, don't worry about how it would scale. It will automatically scale. So if you solve that problem, so I think you're almost there. Or I would actually, in my case, what I see in kids, I see that you have done that. Now you have to actually just
They
scale
have to
that.
prove it.
Yeah.
It's
You have to prove it, show it.
you are seeing it. There's no white paper around it. There's
Or-
no proof of concept. I mean, there has to be a lot of feedback forms and
Yeah.
paperwork around it, and that is going to happen. I hope. I think I'm like 18 months away from delivery, maybe 2 years, 24 months away from delivery. So everybody who wants to meet me, I said, look, I'm pregnant. I'm very busy with what I'm focused. I'm not busy, but I'm very focused on. This is the first time probably in my life that I'm as focused that I am now, because I've sold everything and I'm putting all my eggs in this basket. So don't meet me for fun. I'm pregnant. I'm just focused on my baby. This is it. Once I deliver, then I will be, after a few months, I'll be relaxed, and then tell me what to do.
Sure. Now, one question that I have is that, I mean, during this whole journey, and this journey is not done. I mean, still you have to, achieve those goals. You must have heard a lot of, negative feedback. What was the thing that you have to, hear from people and then respond? Because this is, and this is kind of, I would say, universal. Maybe in the context of Pakistan, it will be a little bit different. Different countries actually have. But I can imagine that, when, you were doing it, did you encounter those kind of resistance, negative thing, and how did you deal with that?
So you know me for many years. I'm very active on social media, and I have been trained. 24 years ago, I wanted to be the president, and as a president, what is the number one skill you need to be a prime minister president is thick skin. You don't care what anybody says. You just do your thing. If you care about what people say, then you were out already. In the first election of Trump, there was a debate, and Donald versus Bush, this young Bush Jr., he walked out on the stage. He didn't have thick skin. He was a governor of Florida, but he didn't have enough thick skin. Trump was able to bully him out. And that's what happens to all the startups and everybody who wants to do anything great or big. You will be bullied no matter what happens. Yeah. So when I started with the school, I was extremely cautious because I was dealing. It's human life which can be destroyed, right? So I was very slow at everything. I was thinking 10 times before I take an action. Then I started meeting the parents. And I remember 2 of the interviews which are online. One of the women moved from Faisalabad with her 4 children without her permission of her mother, father, brother. She actually ran away with the kids to her school. Only her husband, who lives in Saudi, her name is Rahat, approved of it, and then she ran away, and she had nobody in Karachi. And living in the place where that school is, it's smelly, it's not nice at all, and she moved. And I asked her, why?
Yeah.
Why do you come? This is, we don't know what we're doing. That you can watch that video. I told her, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the results are going to be. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. This is 18 months ago. She said, it's a very nice video to watch. She said, like, look, I had, when I was growing up, I was at school and my mother told me to do this. I graduated. Then my mother told me, get married. I got married. Then my mother told me, make babies. I made babies. When I made babies, my mother said, do what you want. I said, what the hell is this? And I had no idea what to do. And I don't want this cycle to repeat anymore. I want to cut it right now. One. Second, the system which is out there, it's not working. Yeah. You're not promising, but I have seen your own children. They're fine. So just do what you did for them. Got it. Another lady, the same thing. She fought her husband. Interesting. Manahil maybe, but that's her mother. And she fought her husband. He didn't want her to be in school. And she did. She said the similar stuff that when she came in for the money, like 100,000 rupees a month. Everybody will earn 100,000 rupees a month. But after 6 months, she said, no. But at the changes I'm seeing, I think this is a good what's happening is good, not so bad. So when I started to talk with parents and they were on board, then I was fine. I mean, the teachers come in for the money. Parents don't come in for the money. Everybody comes in for the money, but now everybody on my team is not in it for the money. The principal of our school keeps telling me, I'm getting double offers. I'm getting double offers. I said, well, you can go. No, how can I go? You made me into this. He's already making 3 times he was making when he started. And I try to reward as much as I can, but still, there's ways to go for them also. And they should be rich also. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong.
So what keeps him going? I'm thick-skinned. I apologize to people. I keep telling. I have stopped meeting people. Period. I'm not meeting anyone anymore because, and I don't read comments anymore. I block anybody now who says negative stuff. I used to not be like that. I was not blocking. I was letting them say stuff. But as I said, I'm pregnant. And when you're pregnant,
understandable. You want to focus on.
You want to focus on the baby. The moment you distract yourself, the pregnancy may fail. And I've never been so focused in my life.
That's great.
And it's not that I'm enjoying this, but I'm pregnant. I got pregnant, unfortunately, and now I want to.
You got to deliver now.
I have to deliver.
No other option. But one thing that when I asked you a question regarding the negative comments, one thing that potential that I may have heard is the money thing, right? Because in the messaging that you have, I know that your referral to money is more kind of a goal kind of a thing, or maybe not. I don't know. This is what I get it, but a lot of people actually think that this is a more kind of materialistic view. They think that hey, education and money, they don't kind of go together. So as a parent, if the message is hey, your kid will be able to make $500, for some parent, and this is actually my observation, and that's why I wanted to know that how did you deal with these kind of negative comments that hey, I want my kids to learn and actually but the money is not actually the first priority. So how do you deal with that kind of have you heard this kind of messaging, or people say, oh, we want to make our kids make money? I mean, I know that especially in Korangi and those areas, definitely they are looking for, but even within those communities, some parents may have this kind of reservation, and that's why they say no, we don't want actually, these are kids, they should not be worried about money, they should just first learn, and then actually when the time comes, then they will figure it out. So what is your response to them, or did you even hear this kind of thing from people?
So a lot of people have this concern whose stomachs are full.
Yeah.
Who are in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, maybe level 4. So for them, it's the right concern. So this is not a school for them. You go to a dentistry school to become a dentist. This is a leadership school. If you're not comfortable with our values, don't come. Go to a KFC and asking for a pizza is no, it's unhealthy. Well, there's Pizza Hut. Go over there.
Other options available.
It's other. I'm not hiding anything. I'm very open. I'm explaining them. But if they're trying to correct me, then I can only show them the door, and I can apologize to them and call security to please show them the door. Because end of the day, in Pakistan, in India, most people go to school, college, university to what?
Make money.
So why are they lying to themselves and everybody else?
Yeah, it's just actually
they're hypocrite themselves. Unfortunately, even if they think that students should do that, then they shouldn't get them to go to tuition or learn maths or do amazing. They should follow the Finland system. Don't send them to school till 6.
Yeah.
But here, I went to school when I was 16 months old or 18 months old. Why? And I tell everyone, don't send your children to school till they're 6. Their home is the best school. There's no need. No, but they will be left behind. Left behind of what? In the race.
Yeah, same race.
So why are they lying to themselves and me? They're lying to themselves that this is for education. No. You want them to be a doctor. Why? You want them to be an engineer. Why? Money. They want a nice car, they want a nice house, they want to go for Hajj. That's why they're cutting their stomach and send them to school.
Right.
Don't lie to yourself that you're doing it for education. No, you're not doing it for education.
Good. I really like your straightforward approach. Just to actually
They're just
make it
lying to
work.
themselves.
Yeah.
Right now, the whole world is lying to themselves.
Yeah.
That it's hypocrisy.
No, I think this is a valid point. Great, excellent. I think I really kind of would like to conclude that, because from the perspective of the work that you're doing, and I see that this is the right time that world should know about it, especially Silicon Valley, especially the time that we are doing this transitioning time in Silicon Valley right now. There are a lot of fears about jobs, and because of the AI, they think that the AI will take the job.
And
but yeah, exactly. but the messaging that you are providing is actually more, I would say, soothing, that hey, it's a human capabilities, those are always be needed, right? So if you invest in that, technology is just supporting things. So whatever technology goes to that point. So I really see that this is something that the time for Silicon Valley and other places on the globe needs to hear this message and work that you are doing. So yeah, I really appreciate that you come down here, and then you're visiting here. So
here's my message to Silicon Valley.
Sure.
You have here at least, I don't know, 30, 40 private schools would charge anywhere from $3,000 a month to $5,000 a month as private schools. You are giving them phenomenal quality of education. There's $145 billion roaming around San Francisco for AI and venture fund, but they have not been able to solve their own homeless problem. Why? It's a simple problem. It's right in front of them.
Focus.
Everybody is, and if this schooling system
is not solving that,
and the best schooling system on the planet, and with all the technicalities, with all the sophistication, is not able to solve a simple problem of homelessness in the most richest city, one of the most richest cities in the planet, where $105,000 is considered line under poverty, is not able to solve a single homelessness problem. I think you have failed. In my opinion, that is why when I came 10 years ago, and I came 6 years ago, and I heard stories that I saw, one of the things I made was the homelessamerican.com.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because I really wanted to fix this. I think it can be fixed. And my methodology has been the same for fixing anything. How do you fix anything? You get like-minded people, you go talk to them, you listen to them, and improve it 1% at a time. If in 8 years it went from 1%, not a day, a month, this would have been solved by now.
Yeah.
Because there's enough people trying to solve this problem. They just don't ever meet together. You don't ever see them communicating together, having lunch together. It's a force. You have to create the force around it, and it can be solved. If with all the money in the world, we're still inventing and investing $2,200 billion a year in buying arms every year, and in this country, $1.2 trillion is spent on arms every year, your system has failed. Why do we go to war? The only reason we go to war is that my idea is better than your idea, and I'm going to bomb you if you don't listen to my idea. That's all what ideology is, and it's about an idea. You're better than I am, or I'm better than you. Right? That's what an idea is. And humans can end world hunger for $80 billion. Humans can end climate crisis for maybe $500 billion. Which means that we will have a planet to live in.
Yeah.
But $2,200 billion a year is spent on arms. That frustrates me. That makes me angry. That with all the phenomenal PhDs and AI and all this shit, there's not one human being. Do you know of one who would say, I will make this budget from $2,200 to $0 a month? Do you know one guy?
No, I'm not aware of.
Do you think there should be one guy who should be there and say, you know what, I'll leave my dumbass guard job and this is what I'm going to focus on, or I'm going to stop being a nun or a pastor or a teacher. I'm going to solve this problem. You don't have to solve it. You just have to say you have to solve it.
Yeah.
So that's my purpose of the school. I want 1,000 human beings to say, I am going to solve this problem. I'm the Gandhi, I'm Martin Luther King of this problem. I'm going to end glasses from the world. This is what I do. This is what my purpose is. And for the next 10 years, you keep talking about it, just like I keep talking about my school, right? Nothing else. I'm very laser focused. So the focus is missing, and you said it, that the focus is missing. Why can't we have 3 humans in Silicon Valley say, my name is John Homelessness Wala or Homelessness Smith. I'm going to fix this problem in this country. Till it ends, I've dedicated my life to God's people. Yeah. That's it. I mean, aren't there enough preachers in this country? Yes, there are, but the system doesn't exist there. We have security guard, we have policemen, we have army, to protect us from what? Other human beings? And we haven't solved it. So my message to Silicon Valley is, if you really are good Catholic, good Christian, good Protestant, good whatever, good human being, just like we send our children to army to dedicate or to churches or to schools or to mosques or whatever, to dedicate their life to serve humankind. Let's bring out 1,000 kids and serve humanity for whatever the big challenges are. There are not many. There's not more than 1,000 problems in planet Earth.
Yeah. I mean,
major ones.
Definitely, focus to do that.
I did that for my son. I took him out, and he wanted to do something with the trees. So we made an organization just to plant 1 trillion trees. 1 trillion trees is a lot of trees.
Yeah.
So he is dedicating 7 years of his life, because the deadline is 2030. Wow. If we don't plant
5 years, that's a great, very.
If we don't plant 1 trillion trees by 2030, it becomes irreversible. So that's how important it is to actually do something. And I like to talk, walk the talk. I don't want to just talk anymore. I mean, I've always done something, but now I'm going all in as much as I can. And I'm not me. There are other. I was hearing to Mike Benhoff yesterday, chairman Salesforce. He also has a 1 trillion tree program.
Yeah.
So, which is good to hear. But he himself was explaining that we need 6 trillion trees. Not even one, but one can make us
to that
mark. Otherwise, we need like 6 more trillion trees, because he claims that there were 10 trillion trees 100 years ago, and we've cut down 6 trillion trees, and there's 4 trillion left. We need at least 1 trillion more. Some interesting numbers right there.
Correct.
But that's my message to Silicon Valley and the United States of America, that look, stop bullying the world, start doing something for the world. Why do we bomb a country? Why didn't Israel and Palestinian went Facebook Live 10 times for 20 hours publicly, say, hey, dude, do this or I'm going to bomb you. You just go in and bomb kids, human beings in 2025. 2025, you have everybody has a broadcast station now. We're not living in 18th century. We're not living in 19th century. This is the 21st century. You can't kill anybody on Zoom. Just go live on Zoom and talk to the world.
Talk to the world.
That's it. Yeah. And it should be super illegal, and people should rage about it. We get raged about one small little thing. If I call you, names, they get upset, and then for others, they're just quiet. Why? What's going on?
Very interesting.
So sorry for.
No, I think that's a very good message. I mean, this is
that's what my school's job is.
That's
to
amazing.
Fix real world problem and not do a freaking PhD on it. Do something, dedicate your life on it. If it takes a PhD to do it, there are many PhDs, I'm sure, on homelessness, but it's still there.
Yeah, it doesn't solve that. Just having a thesis on that. I mean, this actually reminds me, because I work for a manufacturing organization. I mean, they have this, they call it fix. I forgot actually what the fanatical, focus or something like that. So I see this very straightforward approach where you think that problem can be solved, especially this the communication part. I mean, you can extrapolate to that even problems in Pakistan. I mean, we have
Pakistan doesn't have any problems, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay.
Pakistan is a very rich. Raghib yesterday told me very interesting point that if the world ends and we have no other countries but Pakistan, can we survive? What's your answer?
Yeah, we can survive.
We have everything.
We are not dependent on
We are not dependent on but yet we have kept ourselves dependent on everyone, right? We have 5 rivers. 80% to 70% land is empty. 240 million people. And when you go on the banks of the river, they're like, what to do? We have nothing to do. Dude, you're sitting on empty land with water running next to you. Grow something. And we're not. We have internet, we have smartphone, we have the cheapest smartphone, we have the cheapest internet. Hello, why are we poor? There's no reason. The reason is there's bad communication. Nothing else. The owner of the land doesn't trust the Mazara. The Mazara doesn't trust the owner of the land. The owner of the land doesn't trust the bureaucracy. I mean, there's just extreme trust issue that is, I think, the fundamental problem, and that's about to change because AI is going to just change everything.
If this communication, I mean, if people-to-people communication will resolve,
data will come, and then people will it's solved.
They would be able to see that.
That didn't exist, but now we can create an agent around a small little thing. 3 days later, the whole problem just goes away on a website.
No, I see this as
it's a gift for
it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a
blessing in the sense that I remember that the school, somebody was complaining that our school, the government schools are not working. There's a lot of corruption. You have all those things.
They should go and look at the Islamabad schools. One school is on 5 acres.
Oh, really?
Not just one, 200 schools, each on 5 acres. You can just go in. They have football, they have basketball, they have a gym now, they have Wi-Fi everywhere. It's, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's public school right now. It's been there forever and nobody knew about them. There's a new Secretary of Education who has actually started to show it off. And then it's there. It's better than any city school or private school. Any. 5 acres of land in Islamabad.
Real estate. But what do you say that? I mean, I think we're going to conclude that this whole technology, because it's like you have to build the infrastructure, right? Building the infrastructure. The reason actually
but the data infrastructure is now about to be done.
Exactly. So data infrastructure, even communication. For example, you have to build telephone line, but you don't need to because you now actually got satellite, you got Wi-Fi. So the cost actually has decreased. So we are in a very special, I think, in time where we can really solve these problems. We don't have to just actually get the ideas, and I think Rehan School is really.
I don't think we need ideas anymore.
No ideas.
Open ChatGPT,
ask
and say exactly what my problem is,
right, and get it.
And how do I solve while making $1 million?
Yes.
And I'll tell you.
Yes.
You don't really need the brain anymore. You just need execution. Till robots come, please do it as soon as possible because we don't know what will happen. But if everything goes well, I think by 2030, Pakistan is now 400 billion. We can make it $2.5 trillion economy, 5x easy.
Definitely, it's possible.
Very easy. Not even. I mean, it's. I think it's going to happen.
Great.
If nobody else, you will make it.
All right.
Just talk to the kids. Choose a wala and focus on it and nothing else.
Great. Anything else you want to
No, I really
share
want
with
to
the
thank you
team here?
because you are a very big thinker, but you don't do podcasts. And I remember that you gave it the idea for internal money, like the Korangi coin. That back then there was no coin. Now you can create a Korangi coin. You should definitely write a white paper, and it takes. I'll give you an intern, launch it.
Sure, definitely.
Then you have an idea of digital Pakistan, the twin thing, just like NVIDIA is doing a digital world, a twin world to emulate everything, to experiment within. I think that's a phenomenal idea. I'm sure there's just a gazillion more where those two came from, which you don't share with everyone. So my request to you is, you are very gifted man. This is not normal that you come up with these things. You're a gifted man. You're a stubborn man. You keep saying you're stubborn. Use this. Stubbornness is a gift. I want to go to Mars. I want to go to Mars. That's it. You just stick to your thing. That's stubborn. Focus. You're like, no, this is how I am. This is what I want to be. To hell with everybody else. That's what it takes. You don't listen to anybody else. You just do what you're supposed to do, and do it. And the reason we don't do it, I think, is we don't have a right tribe, because we do need tap on the back. Not everybody is going to just go, even they get criticism and keep burning. But not everybody can do that. You can do it to a certain extent, and then you give up. That's why most startups fail, right? I can give you the tribe now. The easiest way to build the tribe or the community is to go on a podcast today, because you attract like-minded people, and there are very smart people of our country. They also don't have a tribe.
Yeah.
And they're also feeling lost. Maybe he's living across the street, but he doesn't know you, and he doesn't trust you. That's why he wouldn't come and say, hello, Shahid bhai, can we have a cup of tea? Can we do this? And easiest way is to just start a podcast, because you're talking, you're listening, people listen to you, and then they start saying, you know what, I'm going to go and say hello to them. Or like what Kim did, like a whole community gathering. That's also something
definitely
possible.
For me now. I mean, I see that. I mean, the collaboration, because I was telling you, right, this the 21 million career, right? So 21 million career.
So become a Hugging Face wala.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me more about this one. I don't know about this. So you have an idea that Hugging Face has.
Yeah. So Hugging Face has created a data set. It's a synthetic data set. So right now, you know that the AI is looking for data. We have just consumed all the data. Data is gone.
So now synthetic data is coming.
So how do we actually give more data? So synthetic data. So this is a synthetic data set that has taken all kinds of, using the AI. It has said, okay, what are the possible career paths are going to be? So 21 million, right? So I remember that when I was kid,
21 million career paths.
Career paths.
What is this?
These are wala. These are your walas. You have software wala, but software is just very big category, right?
It has to be.
Yeah. So it's a very precise.
If
you want to go in that direction, I see that there is a possibility that, and then also it has to be tied up with your ecosystem. So I think.
So where's the list of this 21 million?
This is on Hugging Face. You can go and
what
download.
What is it called?
It is called person database. I can give you the link.
Person database.
Yeah, persona. It's called persona data set. And this data set is used by a lot of these LLMs when you ask them questions. So essentially, if you say, okay, I want this persona. So there's 21 million persona. Just, I like this. I'm a guy who like to teach, but also I am good at actually, or I'd like to actually go in the medical. So it's a combination of 2 or 3 disciplines. And then you go and ask ChatGPT or any LLM, it will give you example, because these are the real ones. So even though it is synthetic, but they have actually looked at that, what are the different possibilities. In Pakistan, I mean, not now, when we were growing up, we had only like doctor or engineer, there was no other option. And I remember that I used to ask my parent that, hey, everything is invented, what should I do now? Right? I wish at the time you were there and you would have said, hey, yeah, exactly. So I see that definitely, there's a collaboration. We can, collaborate, and we have actually, a lot of, every kid actually can be, can execute that. So yeah, so those are ideas that definitely, we can collaborate on that. But what actually I really inspired by the simplicity. My ideas are more complex. It takes time actually to understand. So, but your the basic theme is very, very simple, and I think those are the core thing. If you get that covered, then rest of the stuff actually is automatic. So yeah.
So I still don't understand. You were saying that by becoming and Hugging Face expert, you have these opportunities. What was that about?
It is not an expertise. So the thing is that you have opportunity is that you have a country, right? So country has an ecosystem. Ecosystem means that everything that we as a human interact in terms of exchange of goods and values, right? Services, everything, it is around. And then you need actually people to specialize in certain areas, right? So right now the world actually has come to a point where those ecosystems can be looked at from top down and bottom up, and then the individual links can be established so that it can really evolve the economy, right? So in the sense, for example, let's say that you're building a textile industry. You see, the cotton is grown, right? You need textile machinery. You need actually people who are going to market that. You need designer who will do that. So this ecosystem's connectivity, earlier it was on a guesswork, right? Like for example, earlier the concept was you learn math, you learn calculus, and then you hope that there is a job for you. And then there was a job thing. You could figure it out, but most of the time, what you learn, you don't use it. You use something else, right? And what you use something else that you just learn on the job. So the idea is that now actually we are getting into that model. So in your case, you have Rehan School, and I see that the parallel where you are giving each kid a goal that you are this water wala, right? But within water, right, within the local context, with the problems, there is a lot of actually possibilities are there. Those are real, and something that they can really execute on it. And the money concept that actually I told you that that would be, I think, a longer discussion. That money is nothing. When we say, okay, we need $1 billion, what does that mean? What somebody will give us like a currency? No, money is essentially just promise. I give you a promise, you give me a promise, right? So right now you have come here to Silicon Valley, and then we are interacting. This is actually exchange. This is real value, but we are not actually transforming that into dollar. So those promises exchange, the coin allows you to do that. So essentially you can make the interaction. If you need money or funding, you essentially get those promises, as long as the understanding is there in an organization that says, oh yeah, we will do this. We have actually this area and this ecosystem. We're going to focus on that. We got 10,000 kids or 100,000 people who can work actually on those areas. So I call this, and this was not possible earlier because technically you can't find all these pathways and links, right? You cannot actually say, okay, if you want to build an industry, how that industry is construed from ground, like looking from the agriculture, different sectors, to all the way to the consumer. So you can actually do that. So that I see as a possibility that is actually beyond the current from a like a purely high level. So you can actually go into really literally individual disciplines and areas where people and who actually have passion, they can build that expertise in that. So
is this data set already inside ChatGPT?
This is available in ChatGPT. You can go to Hugging Face. I'll give you the link. You can download it, and then you can give. Like 21 million is a huge number. So it means that everybody, if they want to be unique, they can be. Well, it doesn't need to be. So that many, and then you can go to ChatGPT and you say, okay, this is what I like, or maybe you can create some kind of hybrid on it, and this will give me what my career path look like, right? So my only thing is that you can do that, but this is actually on a personal level. But the question is that at an organizational level, how do you want these two people to connect? So if somebody is doing the work in the cotton, he wants to specialize in that. If he's doing independently without knowing that actually the agriculture is not there, then it's very, very difficult. It's a guesswork.
Why don't you make a platform around this?
Exactly. This is the platform. So platform that allows you to kind of connect people, and then it allows people to do trade using this coin. Then you don't need funding normally, because being in Silicon Valley for 25 years and looking all this ecosystem, when I see people they're looking for money, I just actually kind of feel that why money is not actually, money is there where we are sitting. As you mentioned, we have like land, we have water, we have everything. So then it's the only thing is that it's the connection. If we can establish that connection and agree on it, we essentially create instantaneous money, and that money can be tracked. So it's a little bit high level idea, but
have you put this idea inside ChatGPT?
Yes, I have done that. I have created some small thing, and I'm kind of right now evolving it. No, I'm not busy. Interestingly, what I have done, as I am a stubborn guy, I say, okay, I wanted to do it for whole Pakistan, digital Pakistan, right? So
what stops you?
It did not stop me. I would say that
how many people are working on it with you?
I had almost 15 people, but
full time or just
not full time, just
volunteers?
Actually volunteers, and they were able to. But the thing is that it took me time to explain to them, and they were not able to understand it. So I realized that I'm not. I have to prove it in a smaller scale working model. So this is actually where I just scale back. I say, okay, let's do it in a smaller model. And maybe for a small organization, let's prove it. So once you prove it, then it's easier to do that. And again, also to convince myself also that I'm not going,
So let's do an experiment.
Yeah, sure.
We'll end this, and then we will do the experiment. Thank you so much for the conversation.
Rehan, for being here. I really appreciate that you come all the way from Pakistan, and then you want to,
and all the way,
in fact, and all the way from Portobala. So this is definitely, I'm very, very excited, and I'm seeing that, it may actually lead to something very positive here, inshallah.
Get me some students.
Definitely.
Get me some students.
Sure.